Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's just jump right into this makeup tutorial. My skin is already prepped, and then I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I've used this numerous times in videos in the past. I like to use this just to allow my brows to just last so much longer. The products adhere nicer to my brows when I use this before I apply any product. Next, I'm going to go on with my concealer. This is from NARS. This is their Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Cacao. Love this color. This shade has a little bit of a red undertone, so it really works well to color correct. So that's why you see me putting it underneath my eyes, over top of my dark circles, and then also around my mouth where I also have dark circles. I love to apply this before I put on my foundation because, like I said, not only does it work to color correct, but also works to conceal this area and adds a little bit more coverage. Next, I'm going to go in with my foundation. This is also from NARS. It's their Sheer Glow Foundation in the shade New Caledonia. And I'm just going to take that and just put that all over my face, put it on top of the concealer. And I'm also using a small stippling brush. This brush is from Juvia's Place. I recently did a video comparing this Sheer Glow foundation with one of my favorite NARS foundations, the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and surprisingly enough, I have to say I never thought anything would top that foundation, but I really enjoy using the Sheer Glow. It's medium to buildable coverage, so it's really good for people who want to have like a nice amount of coverage but wants their skin to still feel really breathable and light. You can add more coverage if you want a more full coverage foundation application as well. So I really like this, and my skin always looks so dewy when I use it. I'm going back in with another concealer. This concealer is also from NARS in the shade Chocolat. And I'm just going to apply that underneath the eye in a shape of, I like to call this the triangle of light, even though it's not technically the shape of a triangle. But the reason why I like to put so much concealer in this area, because it's really going to work to help brighten and lighten my under eye area and add a little bit more dimension onto my face. After you put your foundation on, your foundation just makes your face look so one-dimensional, and adding concealer and a little bit of contour and bronzer really does help to add more dimension and sculpt the face. I'm now going in, bringing it on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my cupid's bow, and also on my chin. I'm now going to go in with the contour color. This is from Fenty Beauty. It's one of their matchsticks. This one is in the shade Espresso. It is almost done. So as you guys can see, I had to scoop it out of the tin, put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm applying it with my stippling brush, the same one that I use to apply my foundation. I really do enjoy using whatever tool that I use to apply my foundation to blend in all of the other products, because it just really helps everything blend in nicely into the skin and you don't have any harsh lines. So I'm putting it on my cheekbones, like right underneath my cheekbones, on my jawline, and then I'm blending it underneath my jawline to really help sculpt my face and give me more of a chiseled look. Then I'm taking a little bit more of that product, and also, as you guys can see, I put it on my forehead, on the perimeter of my forehead. Now I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender, and I'm going to use that to blend in my concealer. I don't like to use the same tool that I use to blend my contour color with my concealer, because it might make my concealer look muddy and change the color, and then just completely change the, like ruin the purpose of putting a brighter concealer underneath my eyes. So I'm going to use that Beauty Blender and just blend it in. I like to take my time with this. The more that you blend in the concealer or blend in whatever product with your blending sponge, the more natural your skin does appear. So again, I'm basically using my Beauty Blender to just blend in wherever I place the concealer. I will be going in with my Beauty Blender numerous times just to make sure I don't have any harsh lines on my skin. Next step is I'm going to use my pressed powder. This is actually from IMAN Cosmetics. It is called the Luxury Pressed Powder. I'll leave the shades down below. I'm using one shade that is like 2 shades lighter than my concealer shade, and another shade that is closer to my foundation shade, mixing them together. And then I'm going to use this brush just to gently press that in to set my concealer. I do this because I don't want my concealer to move, because it is a liquid product and it will move unless you set it. And instead of baking, I like to use a pressed powder because it has a more natural look and it still works really well. I'm going to take that and place that everywhere that I place my concealer. And then I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender and just blend out any harsh lines that I saw on my cheek from where I used my concealer. This is very, very important. Always go back in with my beauty blender to make sure I have no harsh lines. Next, I'm going to go in with my SACHA Buttercup Loose Powder. And I'm going to be using this to press exactly where I placed the pressed powder. I'm going to be using this loose powder to put right on top. This is basically also going to work to not only lock in my concealer, but also to add a little bit of like brightness in this area. I want this area to look lighter and brighter and work to really help define and sculpt my face. Now let's get into eyeshadow. Of course, I'm going to be using the AINA palette. I'm going to go in with the shade Ginger and place that in my crease in the outer corner. I just wanted to zoom in for you guys so that you guys can get a closer view. So I'm going to take a tapered fluffy brush and I'm going to use the shade Ginger and place it in my crease in the outer corner, going in small circular motions, but just really packing on that color in that area to add some definition. So the next color I'm going to go in with Edges. I'm going to be using another fluffy blending brush. This is a little bit bigger. And I'm going to be blending that color into my crease, but going in closer into my inner eye area. So also going in circular motions, sweeping it back and forth to add that color in, but to blend it in really nicely into my skin so that there's no harsh lines. So I always go back in with circular motions, sweeping it back and forth so that there's no indentation between the two colors, so that they kind of marry into each other. This next color is Credit, also from the AINA palette, and I'm placing this color, which is like a nice chocolate brown, and I'm going to put that in my outer corner to add a little bit of depth and definition into my eye area. So again, to make sure all the colors marry into each other, I'm gonna go back in with Edges and sweep that color onto my crease so that all the colors blend in nicely. And then I'm gonna take my finger, rub it into Sponsered, and place this shade, basically pressing it onto my lid and pressing it in the center of my eye, and then bringing it into the inner corner of my eye. This is the best way to apply pressed shimmer shades, just taking your finger and pressing it onto the eye and then blending it with the brush after. I only like to blend like the outer corners of it. I don't blend in with my brush on top of the shade, but pressing it with your fingers, just the warmth of the fingers just really helps that product seep into the eye, and you don't have to worry about having tons of fallout. I'm now gonna go in with Credit and put that again back into the outer corner, same area that I placed it before, to add a little bit of more depth and definition into my eyeshadow, and sweeping a little bit more of it into the middle part of the eye in my crease as well. Now I'm gonna go in with a Fenty palette. This is limited edition. It's not sold anymore on their website. It is the Galaxy palette. It is old, it is broken down, but I'm going to be using basically a shimmer shade that's also green. This is in the shade Extra Terrestrial. You can get any pressed green shade from any other palette. It's just a lot more more of a wet shimmer, so it just adds more color and definition onto the eye, and that's why I decided to place it on top. You really don't need this shade, but I do think that it elevates the look and makes the look a lot more sultry and sexy because it adds a more wet effect, a more shimmery effect to the eye. Then I'm gonna go in with my brush, the same brush that I was using before, and I'm going to blend in all the colors together. I don't want any harsh lines. So I basically blend in the crease so that there's no harsh lines in the crease. And I'm gonna go in with a brown eye pencil. This is from Black Opal. Nothing fancy. I do think it's really nice and it's really creamy, but just a simple brown one. I don't like to use black. I feel like black can be too harsh sometimes. So I'm gonna go in with brown. And then I'm also gonna go back in with the brown from the AINA palette, Credit. And I'm going to use that to smudge underneath my eye and blend in that brown liner as well. Also adding a little bit more definition underneath my eye. And as you guys can see, I'm using a really small, fluffy brush. I'm now gonna go back into the Fenty Beauty palette, and I'm going to be using another shade. This is also like a greenish silver shimmery shade, and this one is in the shade Sublime, and I'm gonna take that color and pop that in the inner corner. I did wet it with my Fix Plus just so that it will stick and I wouldn't have any fallout. Now I'm gonna go in to fill in my brows. I'm using dark brown in my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I love their brow products. They have such amazing colors. So I'm applying this product in small hair-like strokes all over my brows, and then I'm gonna flip that product right around and use the spoolie to help blend in any places on my brows. When you go in with the spoolie after applying the brow product, it really helps to distribute the product onto the brows. And if you have one area of your brows where maybe you applied too much product or not enough, it'll help even it out as well. So utilize that spoolie on the other end. It is there for a reason. So taking my time. This is my struggle brow, so I take my time with this one. After this, I'm going to go in with a mascara. This is actually one of my favorite mascaras, and it's a drugstore mascara. This is from L'Oreal. This is the Voluminous Original Mascara in the shade Black is Black. It makes my lashes not only look fuller, but also longer. I have really, really thin and short lashes. So I need a mascara to pack a punch, but not be too clumpy. And this mascara is amazing. I'm placing it on the top lashes and also on the bottom lashes. So I basically just rub them back and forth on my bottom lashes because they're not that long. But I love this mascara. As you guys can see, I take my time with it. I apply multiple coats. I love, 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 love this mascara. Next, we're gonna go in with blush. I'm gonna be using 2 shades in this blush quad. This is actually another drugstore product. This is from the brand Ruby Kisses. It is their Dare blusher, and I'm gonna be using the raisin-like blush and then the red blush. I'm mixing those two together and popping that on my cheeks. I'm then gonna go in with Fenty Beauty's Killawatt Highlighter Duo. This one is Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule, and I'm gonna place that on top. As you guys can see, it has shimmer in it. So I go in with my beauty blender, spray it with some MAC Fix Plus, and I use that to really help blend that into my skin so that it just doesn't sit on top. It blends really nicely and looks like a highlight from within kind of glow. I'm gonna go in with my MAC pencil. This is actually not a lip pencil. This is an eyeliner in the shade Costa Riche. And I'm gonna be using that on my lips. I actually really love this color. It has a little bit of like a red undertone. It's very rich, it's very dark, and applies a lot smoother than their lip liners. So definitely check it out if you're my shade or around my complexion. I think you would like this a lot. Even if you're a little bit darker, I really feel like this will be a nice lip liner for you. I'm then gonna go in with my Pat McGrath's lipstick. This is actually in the color Flesh 3. And then, as you guys can see, I wasn't really feeling it. It was a little bit too pink. So then I'm going to go in with 1995 and place that on top. It's a little bit brighter. And then I'm going to go in with, this is actually a holiday lip gloss kit from Fenty Beauty. But I'm going to go in with one of her lip glosses and place that on top. This is in the color Fussy. I always apply my lip glosses with my finger after I put on lipstick because I don't want to get my lipstick on my lip gloss. I know I'm weird, but it is what it is. So you can stop here. This is like the finished look, but I did add lashes. So the lashes that I'm using, they're Lena lashes. They're in the shade Ashanti. Well, in the name Ashanti is not a shade. But I'm using it with my Duo latex-free lash glue. The lash glue is actually in white or clear, but I apply that and then pop them right on. Really, really easy to apply longer lashes, I find. And then I'm gonna pop it on the other side, place it in the middle. Once the middle is on the eye and it's stuck there on the eye, then you can go in and make sure that you adjust the ends, so the outer corner and then the inner. So the very last thing is I'm going to be setting my makeup with MAC Fix Plus and then Morphe's Continuous Setting Mist. I really like this mist a lot. And then my sister she came to give me a frozen margarita, so she made a little cameo. Cheers. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was really fun to make and really therapeutic as well. I would love to do more videos like this. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure that you like, subscribe, leave some comments. I love chatting with you guys in my comments. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure that you follow me on all my social media platforms. I will link them down below. And I will see you guys soon.